Get Real India segment. A young Kashmiri soldier was abducted and brutally murdered by terrorists. That's right, 22-year-old Lieutenant Ummer Fayaz, who had joined the Indian Army just a few months ago, was in Kulgam to attend a relative's wedding. He was kidnapped from there by terrorists and his bullet-ridden body was later found in Shopian. Here's this sad story.
Lieutenant Ummer Fayaz, a young officer, all of 22 years, commissioned into the army barely months ago. Abducted by cowardly terrorists while he was on leave, was unarmed, was at a family wedding. Abducted from Kulgam, his bullet-riddled body found today morning in Shopian. The forces honor their brave comrade in arms, grieving alongside a distraught family. But where are those today who turned up at the funeral of terrorist commander Burhan Wani? Where is the condemnation of the abduction and killing of a soldier only because he was serving his country? Where is the outrage over killing someone who was unarmed, who worked his way to a bright future, the son of a small apple grower? Again and again, from police officers to politicians to now a young army man, anyone who is seen as pro-India is targeted and silenced. But the tide is now turning. Today's cowardly act of killing a man in uniform the terrorists couldn't face in battle may just be the tipping point in Kashmir. With Shujaul Haq in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
A gun salute for a terrorist, even as bullets are poured into the body of an unarmed army officer, both Kashmiris. Why no outrage then over Lieutenant Fayaz's killing? Why are Kashmir's angry voices silent now? Why are terror attacks on local Kashmiris increasing? Are terrorists trying to scare Kashmiris into submission and not join the army? I am joined now in our Get Real segment by Shabnam Lone, activist and lawyer, and engineer Rashid, MLA in Jammu and Kashmir. Shabnam Lone, don't you think what has happened to Lieutenant Fayaz is a blot on Jammu and Kashmir today? That a young man, the son of a farmer, 23 years, someone who had dreams of going up in life, is gunned down in this manner because he attends a wedding and he is a member of the Indian Army. What is the message that is being sent out, and why don't I see greater anger and outrage in this case?
Well, Rajdeep, it is deeply, deeply saddening to see Kashmir's saga of blood, tears and tragedy continue. Blood spilled by your own, by Kashmiris against Kashmiris. This young Lieutenant Ummer Fayaz, I saw his picture on television, a very smart boy. And let me tell you, Rajdeep, this Kulgam is one of the farthest hinterlands of Kashmir.
Where is the anger? Where is the outrage? Why don't people come out of the streets? Why don't people come out of the streets and say enough is enough, ma'am?
Let me answer it, Rajdeep. Let me answer it.
Yes.
So, I'm really surprised that how a boy from that area, a brilliant boy, who went and joined the army, he must have really studied very, very hard. Having said that, we all know that Kashmir is a boiling cauldron this time, that the situation is not normal. Now, Rajdeep, we all need to be honest, and I think you and I need to be on the same page in this.
Ma'am, I am a very honest person in these matters, but I am still asking you. You're not answering my question.
This is the question for...
Where is the anger?
Yes.
Why?
No, listen to me, Rajdeep.
An innocent, unarmed individual has died? This is not a combatant?
No. Please listen to me.
Yes.
Listen to me. No, Rajdeep, listen to me. See, it is the DGP of Jammu and Kashmir who 15 days back issued a notice asking his cops to stay away from these areas and not to go to their homes. My question is, how did the army allow this young lieutenant to go to this boiling cauldron of militancy? How did they allow him once the police personnel have been told by the DGP that do not go to your homes? Kindly, I want to know, how did the army allow him to go to this wedding? How did they allow him to go to this place? And why did they allow him?
Ma'am, again we are moving away from
their homes.
That is a security question. You are raising the law and order security question. I am raising the moral question. The moral question is, why don't young Kashmiris today come out on the street and say enough is enough? Enough of bloodshed. Enough. You can't. Kashmiris are killing Kashmiris. Why don't they come out and say, this was an unarmed, I repeat, an unarmed individual. He had gone for a wedding. That cannot be reason enough to kill him. Why can't there be no greater anger against the terrorists who are taking to the gun? Kashmiris are killing Kashmiris for what? What purpose has been served
Rajdeep,
by the killing of this young boy?
You are aware that it is not a normal place. This is what I am saying. He got caught into this crossfire of this unnecessary violence that has riddled my state, that has riddled my value. Didn't Ram Madhav say the other day, everything is fair in love and war? I hope somebody did not hear it from him. ये कहानी राम माधव साहब ने कि मोहब्बत और जंग में सब जायज है.
मोहब्बत और जंग में सब जायज है,
but people in power should know when they talk. They should know how to talk. They should know how to speak.
We will come to nobody is condoning the kind of language at times which is used. But Engineer Rashid, I am still not getting an answer. You are an MLA, a popular MLA there in the valley. Why don't I see anger and outrage? Why don't people come out on the streets? Is it fear? The fear of the terror that they could be next? Kashmiris are killing Kashmiris, Engineer Rashid. That's the worry here. This is not an unarmed person. I can understand in a conflict zone if you are caught in a combat. But here is an unarmed person who went for a wedding, a son of a Kashmiri farmer, and this is how he is treated.
Sir, your question is very valid, that why are not Kashmiris outraged? That is the point which we need to introspect, that why Kashmiris, why do Kashmiris mourn deaths of militants whom you call terrorists, whom the state calls terrorists, and people come in lakhs, thousands to mourn their deaths. So the point is that it is matter of interpretation. For Kashmiris, those whom you call terrorists, they call them as heroes, and for the nation, for India, when they call, whom we call as our bravers, for Kashmiris, I am sorry to say, they call them as they see them in some other scenario.
No, is it a fear factor? Engineer Rashid Saab, is it the fear factor that you are afraid of expressing your anger on the streets against the terrorists because you will be gunned down next? Is it fear? Is it fear that is preventing people from saying enough is enough?
Sir, not at all. It was on 30th, the last day of the year, 30th of January 2016, when a policeman was shot dead in my own constituency, and I took his dead body along with thousands, and I made a speech also there. We are not afraid of anybody, but the position is, the problem is that Kashmiris treat Burhan as their hero. For them, unfortunately,
no, you can't say every Kashmiri
talented guy couldn't become their role model. The reason is
let's be clear.
No.
There will be Kashmiris, I am sure, today who are mourning with the family of Lieutenant Fayaz, who feel that a young man has lost his life. The family is mourning. I am sure there are Kashmiris out there who feel strongly about it, but they don't want to express themselves for some reason. It's not just about the Indian state.
Sir,
it's also about somewhere the fear factor.
Sir, you are very, no. I agree with half what you have said. Every Kashmiri is really deeply shocked because pain of mothers cannot be divided. We don't want coffins to receive every day. We don't want to receive dead bodies of our kids, whether they are soldiers, whether they are common men or they are militants. But for God's sake, it is not fear psychosis. The problem is that Kashmiris think that J&K is a dispute which is unresolved, and it has led to the bloodshed, and it is high time for government of India to honestly go introspect and start a dialogue, resolve the issue, so that mothers don't receive coffins of their beloved ones, sir.
You know, the fact is, Shabnam Lone, this is getting into tricky territory once again. Because for the barbaric killing by terrorists of a young man, today we are looking at the larger picture. We are being asked, please look at the larger picture in Kashmir. I would be happy to look at it provided there was greater empathy and outrage over the killing of Fayaz in the first place. That's where I'm coming from. that if today we are to provide the so-called healing touch, it needs to start in cases like Fayaz. Otherwise, the grift only widens.
I do feel that this young lieutenant was used as a guinea pig. The fact is that I personally believe his officers should not have allowed him leave in the first instance.
But a guinea
he should
pig
have been asked
to
stay away from that village.
But let's not blame the army now. Let's blame the terrorists. Let's blame the terrorists, those who are taking the gun to kill their fellow Kashmiris. Let's not be apologetic.
No. I agree with you. No, I'm not apologetic. I agree. I told you I'm deeply saddened.
I am asking you, and I'll ask you one last time, ma'am. Why is there the you are saddened on this show? Why doesn't this the sadness translate into anger, where people come out and say, please, enough is enough?
No, the question is when army and police and the entire paramilitary forces are not able to secure their own life, why do you, and people, ministers, chief ministers and every other officers, they are firmly ensconced in their own homes. How do you expect the ordinary man to come on the streets and do their job?
The ordinary people will come for Burhan Wani's funeral.
It's the job of the government to give us a peaceful,
but will not attend the funeral of Fayaz. The ordinary people will come for Burhan Wani's funeral, but will not attend the funeral of Fayaz.
They came. This is what I am saying. They have made a point. Don't you see? A point has been made. This young officer should have lived his life. He should have lived his dreams. And he should have been given a chance at life, both by those people who killed him and by the army who sent him to a land where death was waiting for him.
Ma'am, is missing me.
The army needs to introspect. Why they, yes.
I think the introspection needs to be done by those who want a more saner, civilized Kashmir, that you have to keep the forces perpetrating violence out of the valley. Otherwise, we will be caught in a vicious cycle.
I need answers from the army.
I need answers from civil society in Kashmir as well, ma'am.
I need answers from the Home Ministry.
Okay, let's leave it there, ma'am. Let's leave it there. Engineer Rashid, Shabnam Lone, I don't want to get into another tutu meh. The last thing we need when a young man has been killed in this terrible manner, his family today is grieving. Burhan Wani was the son of a teacher. Here is the son of an orchard farmer. What are the rights of Lieutenant Fayaz is what we ask you on the show.